We'll beat you at home. We'll beat you away. Stop crying, Frank Lampard. Yes, welcome back to yet another video. Breaking news. Coventry City have appointed Frank Lampard as the manager, or head coach, should we say. And does it come as a shock? Well, no, not really. It's not really breaking news because we knew that Frank Lampard was heavily linked. He was in advanced talks. The rumours were rife. The odds got shortened, and there you go. It's finally happened. So let me give you my reaction. Before I do, get your thoughts in the comments, whether you're a Derby fan, a Chelsea fan, an Everton fan, a Coventry fan. Share your thoughts, whether you think it's good news or bad news. Let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. That takes 2 seconds and it really helps this channel. So do that, and let's get into my reaction. So, as I say, it doesn't come as a surprise. It's not come out of the blue and I'm like, it's not a massive surprise because we all knew that Frank Lampard was the front runner here. Yes, we've been linked with Ruud van Nistelrooy and Lee Carsley and Matt Bloomfield. But it seems to be Doug King's choice that we go with Frank Lampard. And people are saying it's because he's got connections to the Redknapp family. It is what it is. Look, here's the reality. If you'd have offered me 3 weeks ago, we're going to sack Mark Robins and appoint Frank Lampard as the manager, would you take it? I would have said categorically no. And I think I speak for most of the Coventry fans, not all of them, but most of them, with that answer. Anyway, does that mean I'm now against it? No, because I support Coventry and I'm going to support the Coventry manager and, hope that we win games of football. Has it been a good season so far? No. Was Mark Robins under some pressure? Yes. Do I think personally he should have gone? Not yet, but there you go. I don't make the decisions. So, what now? Well, like I say, last thing, I want to give my full respect once again to Mark Robins, and this isn't that I've decided to move on and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm over him, let's move on. It still hurts that Mark Robins left. What he did for this club, incredible. And I'm still going to say it, he deserves a statue. But Coventry City, moving forwards now with Frank Lampard. What do I think? Well, what do I think of him as a manager? My first reaction when I heard about Lampard being linked, I was like, not totally sold on that. Have I warmed to the idea? Yeah. Am I overjoyed? Not really. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm just kind of weighing up what will happen, and I think we can all just say that time will be the best indicator on if this was a good appointment or not. So Mark Robins left about 3 weeks ago now, and in that time we've played 3 games. I will give a bit of credit to Rhys Carr for steadying the ship with draws against Sunderland and Sheffield United. We did lose to Burnley, of course, but Cardiff City at home on Saturday is a game which I feel like we need to win. Coventry City are in the bottom half. We're not that far above the bottom 3. If this goes the wrong way, we could be in trouble. And yes, people have said, myself included, it does smell a little bit of Birmingham City appointing Wayne Rooney. I'm not saying it's the exact same situation, but people are going to make that comparison because he's a big name. And look, it's great to have media attention on Coventry, but I don't want to just be known as Frank Lampard's Coventry. If it goes the right way, though, if Frank Lampard gets off to a winning start and picks up a few good results, I would say it's not mathematically impossible that Coventry could compete for the playoffs. I'm not saying, it's a sure bet Coventry finish in the top 6, but I'm saying this is the Championship. We all know what it's like. We know what Coventry can do in the Championship. Win a few games and all of a sudden you're in the top half, 5 points off the top 6 or something. But it will take a lot of hard work to get there. I've said on record that the players are inconsistent. Maybe we need the right manager to get the right tune out of them more consistently, but they seem to turn up when they want. And Chris Wilder mentioned that in the post-match interview for the Sheffield United Coventry game, and I think he was spot on. They could have done more to save Robins, really. Doug King has come out and spoke to the fans. Fair play to him. He's won some of the fans back. Has he won all of them back? No. Has he said things that I disagree with? Yes. I don't think this squad is nailed on top 6 quality. I think we might have enough quality to compete for it, but I think we do lack leaders in this team. So let's see. Frank Lampard's now got January to work with. One thing I will say with Frank Lampard is if he can use those Chelsea connections to his advantage, that could be really, really good. Let's have a little look at Frank Lampard's track record then. So Derby County, I would say it was all right. It wasn't that he set the world on fire, but I think it was just above par. Derby County, that team they had in the 2018-19 season, was a team that should have competed for the playoffs, and he got them in there, 6th place, just about. Some people are trying to make out like, oh, anyone could have done that with that Derby team. I don't think that's strictly true. And as I said earlier, bringing in those Chelsea connections, they brought in, was it Tomori and Mason Mount? They had some good players in that team. They beat Manchester United in the Cup, in that competition, in the Carabao Cup competition in that season, and then they went on to get to the playoff final. That away win at Leeds is actually one of the best championship games of football I've ever seen, and one of the best performances I've seen from an away team. I would be interested to get the Derby fans' thoughts down in the comments. Obviously, Derby did go on to lose in the playoff final 2-1 to a very good Aston Villa team, and one thing I will say is that 2018-19 championship season is probably the strongest we've ever seen. Maybe last year's championship was pretty strong as well, but the fact they had Norwich on fire, as per usual, Villa, I think it was Sheffield United, West Brom, Middlesbrough, I think Forest were decent that year, Villa, like I say, Leeds. It was a very, very strong division that year, and Derby did get into the playoffs. Anyway, after that he goes to Chelsea. I think the first season he deserves credit. Transfer embargo, and they still got into the top 4. I know Chelsea have got a lot of good young players, but that's something that Doug King will look on and say, oh, you know, we like that at Coventry, bringing through young players. Second season, not so good. Let's look at the reality of it. They were pretty poor, especially in that run around January. And then I think Tuchel took over that same season and won the Champions League. So there you go. Everton didn't do great. Kept them up. That win against Palace was massive, and yeah, some decent performances, but the second season, again, certainly not good, and they really could have gone down if they'd have stuck with Lampard. And then the last spell at Chelsea for about 11 games, he only won 1, but Chelsea were a mess at that time. I will give him a bit of a pass because I think that situation was difficult for any manager, but still didn't do great. So overall, his CV is not massively impressive, I guess. I mean, there's certain things in there that are all right, and he's a young manager, okay? I don't expect him to have managed 20 clubs just yet, but I think just making that Mark Robins comparison again, put those two CVs next to each other, I prefer Mark Robins. In terms of who's now got the potential to maybe go to the next level, I suppose you can make the argument that Lampard has with him being a younger manager and that hunger. And remember, it's not just that it's Coventry's season on the line. This is Frank Lampard's managerial career on the line. After what happened at Chelsea in the last spell and how things ended at Everton, if he doesn't get things right at Coventry, he's not getting a Premier League job anytime soon. So it is genuinely important for himself as well as Coventry. So what are my expectations? It's a guessing game. I don't know. I really don't know. Do I think we'll get better than where we are in the table? Well, yes. I think our team is better than 17th, 18th in the Championship. Do I think we'll make the top 6? I'm not as confident as Doug King is. But what I will say is this is a massive, massive moment for Frank Lampard. And it's a massive moment for Doug King. Because, as I say, he won some of the Coventry City fans back by speaking to them and giving his reasons about why he got rid of Robins. But if Lampard doesn't deliver, and by deliver I mean top 9, top 10, then Doug King's got it wrong, and he'll come in for criticism, which I think he would deserve at this point, because while I'm not sure Coventry would have made the playoffs with Mark Robins this season, I still think we'd have improved and been 10th place around there, if you know what I mean. So let's see. Yeah, a big season now for Coventry and Frank Lampard. And I don't know, I mean, we're at this point now, 29 games to go. Obviously, the FA Cup will start in January. Will we go on a cup run again? I think let's put our eggs in the league basket and really focus on that, I think. But I don't know, I'm very mixed on this. I'm open to it, but, you know, I'm not saying that it couldn't go wrong at the same time. So we will see. Get your thoughts down below. That is my quick reaction to the breaking news that Frank Lampard has been appointed Coventry City head coach / manager, should we say. The players, the last thing I will say, the players have frustrated me at times because they're good. Some of them. Not like outstanding in terms of we should be top 2, but why do they put in such inconsistent performances? Maybe a lot of them with Frank Lampard, he is their boyhood hero sort of thing, and they might want to play for him that bit more. We will see. I mean, as for my personal thoughts on Frank Lampard, I've spoken about his managerial career where it's a bit mixed. As a kid, I actually really liked Chelsea, and Frank Lampard was a hero. I mean, the fact that He's what, the highest scoring Chelsea player ever and the highest scoring midfielder in the Premier League. I mean, his numbers were ridiculous. And I think he is a nice person as well off the pitch, comes across well. I remember a few years ago he did like an LBC interview with James O'Brien. This is going away from football, but I thought he was really good there. Doesn't make him a great manager though. I'm just saying I like him as a person. If I see him outside the Coventry Stadium, do I want a picture with him? Yes, of course, because what a player he was. But let's see what a manager he can be at Coventry. There you go, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.